Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have, we have Doku and stuff to say, and well, it involves economics, and I know bugger all about it. So I'm going to leave this to the expert, or at least what passes for the expert. Okay, I'm going to give it to Doku. All yours, mate.
All right, yeah. So we're going to be doing a little bit of speculation about metamaterials, ticker MMAT. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Blah blah blah. You know the drill. So, fortunately enough, this is a topic that we don't have to worry about. Our family-friendly 5 minutes. This will be fairly simple and straightforward to get through. But so there was a Twitter thread last night that had a decent amount of engagement going on, just a lot of speculation. So I said we'd go ahead and talk about it. And obviously, it was too late for you last night, so here we are today talking about it.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's fine, dude. It was late for me as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen real quick. Just give me a moment.
No problem.
There we go.
And no, nerd, he didn't get coal. He's not even allowed something as good as coal.
So metamaterials obviously is big into the augmented reality, virtual reality. I'm not sure what MR is actually, but you know, thin film coating specialist Artemis and Canada's metamaterials technologies. So what we have here is CES. That's a convention, like a tech convention. Forget what it actually stands for. But here we have BAE Systems, Marconi Electronic, MES. And so essentially what we're speculating about here, or at least what we were talking about in this thread, is the use of metamaterials in defense applications. Which, what we had brought up, well, you were mentioning, before I get into what I was going to bring up, Jensen, tell me what you were saying about those AR glasses.
Well, okay. This is going to sound very tinfoil hat. I am stating this right now because I know that that is what people are going to come up with. But what I'm thinking with involving those glasses, if they cross-reference those with the firearms themselves, you could end up with smart link. So where the barrel points, a laser dot appears. You're going to go, that's just a laser sight, not when the laser sight only appears on the glasses themselves. Glasses also do have capacity to change view types. I seem to remember you telling me, Doku.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, click infrared, click low light vision, click thermal vision. Laser dot, which is no longer visible unless you happen to be on the same frequency as the glasses. And gun won't fire at things that aren't part of the target. So that's perfect for a sniping rifle because man hiding behind victim, one false move and I'll kill her. And just a tiny bit of his head appears. Bang, game over. Or at least that's how I would expect them to use it. And if they've not thought of that, they're idiots, because if I thought of it, they bound to have thought of it.
I mean, that's just, I see, that was an application I hadn't even considered, but yeah, just the type of situational awareness and type of battlefield strategic advantage you could have just from an advanced set of AR goggles or glasses is ridiculous.
Hey, Sin.
Hey, can you hear me? Oh my
We
god.
can hear you. You're echoing.
Hang on, let me get onto this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now there shouldn't be an echo.
Yep, nope, it's working fine. Hey, hon.
What's up,
Hey,
Ben?
hey, thanks for inviting me.
Of course.
You're
we're just
always welcome.
we're just doing a bit of a speculation. We haven't gotten too much into things. Did you see this thread on Twitter?
So that's what I'm wondering is if I've missed it, because are we talking about the Apple or we're talking about the defense?
Oh, the defense one. This was one that Jay Bridge posted.
Huh.
But yeah, what was interesting about this thread is, just as like a spitballing thing, I had brought up the laser reflective film would be a really good way to defeat or lasers are a really good way to defeat optics guided munitions. So you could defeat that with just this cheap laser reflective film because, missiles and bombs aren't exactly cheap, but they can be easily defeated by ground based lasers unless you have this.
Yeah, well, I mean, lasers in general are a good way to save money. I mean, instead of using, like, did you see the picture of the Navy ship where they were using lasers?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, I'll have to send that to you. So, I mean, lasers are replacing um, your munitions because they're cheaper and they're effective. So, if we're going to talk about defense, because if we're going to be using lasers as a weapon, then of course, my husband always calls them red. They're going to be using them too. So, we're going to want, once we see more lasers coming into the military industrial complex, we're going to have things to counteract that. And so I think meta is going to be huge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just especially for larger vessels like, say, like a warship, you would want to have something on the side of the hull because it's a big, broad target. Yeah, you want to be able to that'd be prime target for a laser based weapon. So you definitely want something to defeat it. And if it could be a cheap, thin film that you just put on the outside of the hull, even if it
Yeah.
just helps disperse some of the heat, like if I was a modern military, I would definitely be wanting to consider some countermeasures to defeat high energy weapons. Or the other one that I would imagine that you could do the same thing to harden against things like radar jamming or stuff like that, which is funny because here to drop knowledge when I mentioned that BAE Systems, which we're speculating has or is going to have some sort of contract with Meta in the future, just landed a $4.93 million contract to advance F-35 electronic warfare capabilities. It sounds to me like we might have a bit of a leg in that space.
Yeah. Did you see the magazine that I was posting from, the electronic warfare? It's the Association of Old Crows. It's an electronic warfare publication that I get frequently. So I'm in all that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because the electromagnetic spectrum, I mean, think about it, especially as we move towards being full 5G, 6G, if we're talking like smart cars, I mean, everything, we're going to have to make sure that they're secure, because basically anything that goes over a wavelength is vulnerable. So it's very interesting, but there's a lot of things that you have to think about because I don't want people to be able to hack into stuff. Like, I'm paranoid. I don't even have the Ring doorbell because I'm like, I don't want somebody to be able to get into my house.
That's not paranoid. That's perfectly acceptable way to be. I'll be completely honest with you. I wouldn't either.
I was gonna say that sounds more pragmatic than anything else. I wouldn't call it paranoid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's funny you bring that up because I was just thinking. So if we can use these roll-to-roll production machines to create essentially unique nanostructures and films, I wonder if there would be a way to create a unique antenna that can only pick up certain types of frequencies. And if we already have the patents on a roll-to-roll production machinery. I I wouldn't be surprised if a military wanting to create a secure network for like a battle net, a secure wireless network. I'm not saying they would go to Meta to do this, or if they would build it in house. But I mean, hey, maybe they just want the roll to roll stuff, so maybe they lease it out to Meta or they contract it out to them. But having a very specific antenna that only picks up a very specific wavelength as a way to harden against things like hacking or people being able to hack into things like that. Trying to harden or trying to secure the hardware as opposed to the software.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one point of speculation.
Yeah. By the way, from what I can see with the information you've given me so far, this would actually also work really well for targeting things. So, we've lost Sin. Oh well. It would actually work well for targeting for the Rangers, etc. They could literally just look at the target and the artillery know where to target with it. You realise that, yeah?
Yeah, no, I didn't think of that either.
Oh, okay. I should stop giving people ideas, shouldn't I?
Oh no, give them more ideas because it just means it's going to bring more business to us. So I'm cool with it. Although,
Well, seriously now, okay. The people that you work for, etc., they might seriously want to consider actually some of these ideas because one, the military will throw money at them because, well, quite simply, they're good ideas. And two, if you've not thought about it, they may not have thought about it. By the way, the concept that people haven't thought about this confuses me. But if you haven't thought about it, then they might not have thought about it, which means we've got whole suggestions, ideas that could come up and actually, be new things for them to consider. What do you think?
and I have talked to a few people that I know are I'll just say well connected in the DoD arena.
Hmm.
Now, how well connected? I'm not 100% sure, but well enough to how should I say, spend a lot of time inside the DC Beltway.
Hmm.
No, the more I think about this, with just the capabilities that you have, just from not even just being able to defeat lasers or hardened against laser attack or electromagnetic warfare, just the ability to have, say, like a hardened battle network,
Hmm.
or like you're talking about the AR glasses that you could link directly to a certain weapon. Like there's there's a lot of stuff you can do with this. I mean, George even used the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter as kind of an example of what you can do with these metamaterials. And I think it was back in the early 2000s the Army was playing around with the idea of an invisible tank.
Yeah.
It
There is a few things, okay. I know that I'm talking about Shadowrun and Cyberpunk. I accept that I'm talking about things that have been created by other people and do not exist. But equally, things that were created back in the day and exist now could be things like, oh, I don't know. It's not like we've got mobile phones that flip open. It's not like Star Trek used that at any point, did they? And we've got tablet devices. Again, not like Star Trek used that back in the 60s, now was it?
hmm
Just a
yeah.
thought.
Oh,
Okay.
how's the saying go? Science fiction usually precedes science fact.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, no, it
It's
is.
horrific to think, but it is very true.
This is why I always tell people 1984 was supposed to be a warning, not a guidebook.
Yeah, let's not talk about 1984. You know what that's going like.
Yeah. There was one other thing that was brought up because again, we have this roll-to-roll lithography. Basically what it is, it's a roller that presses these nanostructures, metal structures into these thin films. So we do have a trademark and patent on this roll-to-roll technology, a specific type of it. So
Okay.
let's just say it's not even the product that somebody wants to buy, but they want to buy the manufacturing capability from it. Just that
Mhm.
trademark and the patents that go with it by themselves should be worth billions of dollars. Like,
Yeah.
like completely ignoring the potential uses for the films that we can develop in lithography, holography, and AR VR stuff. Just looking at the patents, I think Meta has like 242, 246 between the two of them, between like Meta and Nanotech.
Okay.
Shane, the value there is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So I think we're extremely undervalued, and it's not just because of the shorts, but I mean it was only recently we got listed on the Nasdaq's semiconductors like specialist index. I forgot the actual name of it.
Okay.
But
Sorry to say I had no idea, mate.
they have there's like a special index that lists or an index that lists specialized semiconductor companies. So I think like I believe Intel is on the list along with AMD, Nvidia, but we just got listed onto that.
Okay.
But
By the way,
speaking,
we did have a porn site come up.
the porn bots have been going at it like crazy.
Oh god, yeah. Just mentioning. Carry on, mate.
But yeah, speaking of shorts,
Mhm.
uh since we're kind of done with our DoD speculation, there was some stuff that they were mentioning about Apple, but I haven't had a chance to read through that thread. But oh, I remember what they're talking about. So the thing with Apple is that they want to develop a non-invasive glucose reader. So you could basically have your Apple Watch and you could just click a button and it'll read your blood glucose.
Mhm.
Well, the same day that CNBC article came out, George Pelikaris, the founder of Metamaterials, he was saying that the holy grail of medical technology would be a non-invasive glucose reader for diabetes patients. And we have that tech. They've been working on it for a while now. I think they've been working for like 5 or 10 years on it, something like that. But it's a film that would allow the same way that you can read the oxygen levels in your blood by putting a light essentially over your finger, and
Yeah.
it would be the same thing but for blood sugar. But they need a specialized material or a film for it, which Meta's working on a technology called Glucose Wise that I believe now it's in clinical trials. Which I think it was Ken Rice was the one that was saying he expects it to be about 24 months before it passes clinical trials, which 2 years for the medical industry is actually not that long. So we have Apple talking about that, and then we have George talking about it, and it's a technology that we've been working on for years now. But coincidental.
Mhm.
If you believe in coincidence, which I don't. I think that was intentionally timed.
Yeah.
And also I know this kind of ties into this Crisdale Capital thing, because Crisdale Capital a few weeks ago released a similar Twitter post along with a press release or link to a press release why they were short metamaterials,
Mhm.
and it reads like this type of shit post. But George responded to it with a gif of Mr. T taking a bite out of an apple, and people were speculating, does that mean we have an Apple deal? Like, is he hinting at something? I thought at the time, like, no, I think he just used that gif because he thought it was appropriate. But come to find out this stuff later, it's like maybe there was something to that. Maybe the Apple was intentional.
Hmm.
But
Interesting.
but I do want to laugh at Crisdale Capital because these guys, I don't know who the hell writes their tweets or writes up their reports, but they talk like salty ass high school bitches. Like, yo, like, I just read this. We're short PLUG. Report on their link to their site. We discuss with Grizzle Media at 1:30 YouTube. Plug isn't a way to bet on the overhyped hydrogen economy. It's just an r/Wall Street bets roach motel where your fellow travelers probably failed high school chemistry. Like, you guys are supposed to be a hedge fund and an investment firm, and this is how you talk. Like, and oh, by the way, I think their year-to-date return is like negative 17% or something like that. So it's not exactly like these guys have a shining record of making good calls or good bets. So if I had to pick a team, Wall Street Bets already bankrupted 3 hedge funds for being overly leveraged and over short on a lot of stocks. So I'll put my money on Wall Street Bets over Crisdale Capital.
Yeah. Okay.
These guys are a freaking joke.
And welcome back, Sin.
We got Sin back.
Yep. Well, at least we've got her here. I don't think she can speak, and she's not muted. So, it's not anything we've done. But nonetheless, Karen, what you saying, mate? I'm sure she'll speak when she's ready. Oh, she's now muted. No, she's back. Anything? No?
Yeah, it's just you sound really far away.
Wow.
Yeah, the volume's like really low. Yeah, it can
Edit
kind.
settings.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can turn it up on our end.
I just did. Anything? No? Okay. I've done everything I can now do.
Yep, I'm not sure.
Sorry, Alan. Anyway.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to point out this Crisdale Capital because I have no idea who invests with these guys or why you would want to, but like it seems like their whole strategy is they go short on something and then they come out with a shit post like this saying they're short on it. And I guess there's enough people that listen to these guys that it ends up they end up shorting stocks, like they convince people to short stuff. I don't know.
Okay. Question: does that mark them as the bad guys then? Because there was that whole thing with GameStop. Are these the sort of people that would be involved in shorting the living crap out of them?
Yeah, they would be on that particular club.
Okay. Yeah, for obvious reasons, we have gone past the 5 minutes, so I'm just going to point this out. So basically, what you're saying is they're a bunch of assholes. Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much. They'll go heavy short on a stock and then release a report, and I guess they think they can drive the market to a significant degree, but I would beg to differ, considering again Wall Street Bets managed to bankrupt 3 different hedge funds for being overly short on AMC and GameStop, so I wouldn't put my money on their camp.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Oh yeah, now you're good.
Aha,
Welcome
I got
back.
my son's gaming headphones. I went from trying to use my cell phone to using a laptop that the charger wouldn't work. Then I got a different laptop and you couldn't hear me. But now I think, oh my gosh.
Yeah. You know what? Headphones work absolute bloody wonders. It's what I use, and no one yet has complained about it, apart from I talk. That's generally the thing that people complain about.
Oh, I love
gaming
your voice.
headsets are awesome.
No, thank you, dear.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add about Carousel Capital. I think that maybe this would have worked for them in the past, but because we've organized on social media, everybody sees the same old games. So there's, they put out their short report, and then you've got those 3 law firms, Rosenberg or whatever it was, and then they go and then they send out a thing saying, we want to represent the investors in so and so whatever company Carousel is going after. So it's like a 1-2 punch, but people are catching on to it because it's the same thing that they did with CEI.
Yeah, that's true. It almost makes me wonder. It's like it sounds like a Ponzi scheme, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. and then you just add that him with the DUI and the cocaine driving in the Hamptons, and it's like, who are these people? They can't write. I mean, granted, I'm not the best writer, but I'm not putting this stuff out there,
No, yeah, their entire approach to things. It's like, again, if I was an investor and I had, a couple millions of bucks, and I wasn't who I am, and I invested for myself. I wanted somebody else to do it for me. I wouldn't go to a hedge fund like this because just the way they write and the way they talk, it's like it's a roach motel where your fellow travelers probably failed high school chemistry. Like that. That's not exactly the words of someone I would consider to be a business professional.
Well, it makes me want to find all the stocks that they're shorting and just invest in them just because they're so bad at what they do.
Oh yeah, what is their return? Is it like negative?
It's like 17.
Okay, yeah, it's like negative 17%. It's like, you guys aren't doing too hot here. Like, are you trying to declare war on Wall Street Bets? Because if you are, I don't think that's a fight you're gonna win.
Oh, and I think they have. Like, I think people saw the destruction that happened to CEI and we're just kind of like, no, you can't do this to companies. It's not ethical. I don't know.
Well, if Crisdale happens to be the next casualty of the Wall Street Bets versus Wall Street war, I'm not going to be complaining.
Oh, it would be very fun. I would appreciate it. I mean, I personally was in CEI, and that was frustrating for me because, and I almost wonder if they had a part to do with before they put out their short report, there was like a fake acquisition. Did you see that?
No, I never heard about that, actually. I didn't know about CEI until Crisdale put that short report on Meta.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I was,
no, I was in that one.
yeah, no, I was completely unaware of Crisdale and CEI until the whole Meta Short report came out, and I started looking at these guys, and it's like, again, who is actually looking to these guys as market drivers? Like you said, like it might have worked before in the past when retail investors were roughly unorganized, but now it, I don't know, I don't see them. I don't see them being able to drive the market in any significant way because I mean, sure,
Well,
some people inside Wall Street might look at them and be like, "Oh, they're short, so we're going to go short too." But for the most part, we're going to do the exact opposite of what Crisdale does.
exactly. But I kind of wonder too. I mean, who still keeps their money with Citadel? Like, why are people using these hedge funds to hold their money? It baffles me. I mean, I think if you look at Michael Jordan's return, he's lost so much money with Citadel. I'll have to look it up. But it's like, you would be so much better just doing it yourself. I don't understand it. But I'm hands on, so that's me.
Well, I'm more surprised that these large hedge funds and investment banks are still really a thing because with the ability to just open a brokerage account using even just Robinhood, which I absolutely hate, or Webull, or it's easy to open a Fidelity account or a Schwab account or a Thinkorswim account. Like, as long as you got a phone, like it takes all of 5 minutes and a checking account that you can link to it, so you can invest money into it and fund your account. Like, you'd be better off buying any number of ETFs that just
Yeah.
hold the S&P or hold the Russell or hold the Nasdaq. Like, I mean, if you want to do options funds, there's ETFs, or not, they're not ETFs, they're ETNs, I believe they are. But
I
you
don't
can
know.
do but you can buy like a QYLD and RYLD, which is the S&P and the Russell, and they trade covered calls against their holdings. So if you want options or to get exposed to options trading, you can buy both of those, hold them like a stock, and they pay out like an 11% dividend paid out monthly.
Oh my gosh, I need to do that. I'm so scared of options. I'm so scared. I don't know.
Options.
Jensen, do you?
I know absolutely bugger all about what you guys are saying. You quite literally may as well be speaking ancient Greek right now. But hey, I'm not here to give opinions on this. I'm here to make stupid comments and talk about smart guns. Okay, that's why I'm here. That's the reason he's dragged me on this. Am I wrong, Doku?
Nope, you're not wrong at all.
Right.
Hey, but you've got your conspiracy theories, right?
Oh, I'm all about conspiracy theories, as is pretty freaking obvious. I mean, let's be honest. One day I'm actually going to bring back the Quinspiracy show just because it fits. And I know Doku quite likes some of the old conspiracy stuff. Is that not correct, sir?
Oh, I missed the conspiracy shows, even if YouTube didn't really like them that much.
Oh, God, no, they really didn't. But what the hell? Who cares?
I don't think they like the finance conversations either, though. Like, I think that the conspiracy theories and financial institutions, I mean, you showed me that cartoon and my whole world is rocked now.
Oh, yeah, no, they really don't like it when you start bringing up certain topics. Like you start bringing up the history of the Federal Reserve and the current monetary system that we have, the whole fiat system. They really, really, really do not like those conversations.
I don't know. I kind of look at what's going on in the market today as kind of a financial revolution of sorts. And I'm really excited to see a redistribution of wealth.
I don't disagree. And that kind of goes back to what we were saying. I don't know how these hedge funds and investment banks are still really a thing. Like, seriously, just take your money, buy the S&P, buy the Dow, buy the Russell, buy the Nasdaq, and just sit. Don't do anything with it. Just sit, collect your dividends. And why give it to these guys? Like, they're clearly not. You would have made more money this past year just doing that, just buying the S&P and letting it sit, than you would with any of these investment banks or hedge funds.
Yeah. I'm going to look up how much money Michael Jordan's lost with Citadel real quick.
And also, part of it makes me wonder if with the SEC wanting to audit Meta and the Meta for the Torchlight acquisition, it makes me wonder, because I know a lot of people freaked out about that. Like, oh no, Meta Materials did something sketchy. They're gonna get fined.
No, I think it's a good thing.
No, I think they're doing it because the stock was being manipulated prior to and after the merger. And there was a lot of funky stuff going on, like how he kept getting listed from oil and gas to semiconductor, from oil and gas to semiconductor, like fucking 5 times in a week. So plus the large short interest and the fact that apparently, if you believe what you read, that there's a lot of people that were short on Torchlight and now they're trapped and they can't cover their positions because Torchlight is now metamaterials. So they're doing their best to try to wiggle out of it, which would explain the MMTLP thing. So it makes me wonder if the SEC didn't get enough complaints that they actually had to get off their butts and do something.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what Gary Gensler's whole plan is on this one, because if things come to fruition, which they're going to have to, I mean, we're not selling, right? The apes are not selling. So I don't know how long these hedge funds are going to be able to keep these short positions, but when it all comes to a head, like, what's the SEC's position going to be? Are they just going to do nothing and then they lose all their control and no one trusts them? I mean, no one trusts them anyways, but it'll be really interesting to see what happens with them as an entity, because the people don't trust them.
And I think they're going to be forced at a bare minimum to at least look into the MMTLP thing.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so he lost $300 million due to GameStop trading fiasco, is what this article is saying. $300 million. Oh my gosh.
Yikes. Oh, wow. And he's invested with Citadel.
I'm trying to verify that because that's what I had heard, but I don't want to say that without.
Man.
Just want to say something to the group. Jacob, what you do is you put a noose around their neck and you raise them up so they're standing on their tiptoes. That way, when they get exhausted and let go, it starts to choke them. That one hurts so much more. Carry on.
You remind me of my dad. My dad, because he was a Green Beret. Like, I remember being a kid and we were in this room and he was like teaching me how to throw the knife just right, like so that it hits the ground right before someone's foot, or like if you're stabbing someone, how to stab them right. Oh, I love cynical men.
I'm not cynical. I'm just, to use a modern term, based.
How pragmatic.
Hey, if people actually did this, it would deal with a whole lot of problems. I mean, come on. Here's a mental image for you. Imagine what it would be like to watch George Soros being hung by his neck. Now, isn't that an enjoyable concept? Come on.
Well,
I can't stand that guy.
I don't advocate violence, but if we were going to be violent, that would not be my means. I would probably have a pallet of bricks delivered.
Oh,
And do it the old-fashioned way. Oh my gosh, you're bringing out the worst in me.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, hon. Apart from that, doing it old school is a very good way of doing things. It really is. Okay?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey, question. Can you guys have guns in the UK?
Good God. Well, actually, yes, is the answer. Okay. Everyone thinks we can't. We can. We're allowed to get access to things like shotguns and things like that. But to get them, you have to jump through more hoops than are humanly possible. As in, if you think it's bad in New York and Chicago, you have no idea. An honest answer is no, but really it's yes.
Are you allowed to have 3D printers?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, oh no, I know.
It's funny.
Guns.
It's funny. Count Dankula did a video. I think it was last week, where he's talking about what's the guy's name? He did the that book that was had like a bunch of schematics for like homemade rifles and stuff. Oh, And it was after the UK had the hardcore gun crackdown. When was that shooting?
You're talking about Lockerbie?
Yeah, I
No,
think that's it.
sorry, Dunblane. Wrong one. Dunblane. That would be the one.
Yeah, it was right after that happened, and the UK had a hardcore crackdown. This guy actually made a bunch of schematics. Like you could make like a semi-automatic submachine gun or something.
In all fairness, making guns is not actually difficult by any stretch of the imagination. It is literally just the legality and the safety. In fact, legality is almost unimportant. After all, you can be as illegal as you like if you're not caught.
Well, I think people are ingenuitive too. Like, you get rid of guns, you get suicide bombers, or you know what I mean? Like, you get people running into people at a parade with a car.
Well, okay, let's go with the concept of England having no guns, which is not an unreasonable description, I've got to say. So instead, we get more murders with knives than you guys could even begin to imagine with guns, and your country is how much bigger than ours again?
I think I'd rather go by gun. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Goku. I totally derailed this.
Oh no, you're fine. I was actually pretty much done with the meta speculation anyway. So we were gonna roll into laughing about just random stupid political stuff. So this is actually perfect.
And yes, Dave, we are full of wankers. I completely agree. I have got no problem with that statement. Total wankers. Yeah, that should have dealt with that problem. But
okay,
seriously.
So no, let's clarify real quickly. A wanker is a wanker a penis?
No, a wanker is a person who manipulates the penis for sexual pleasure. Oh, am I not supposed to be that honest? Oh, my bad.
No, I always wondered because I'm like, what is a wanker? Yeah. So it's like masturbating.
Masturbate, yes.
Oh.
But we save time and we just call it wankers.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Okay, or if you're going to go for British, you remove the K and it's just wankers.
Wankers.
Wankers, yep, that's it.
Oh my gosh.
But, yeah, no, like I say, we don't use guns. We use knives. We use cars. We use baseball bats or cricket bats. We use quite literally iron poles from railings. England is not the nice, safe place people like to think it is. It's just a damn sight more hidden than it is in America, basically.
So you bludgeon people.
Oh, we have no problem with pounding someone's head wide open and leaving them laying on the floor.
Wow, what a concept.
Horrible, yes. Go on.
But I guess the idea is that you can't bludgeon as many people as you could shoot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, except for one thing. One, if you miss, granted, you can probably end up hitting somebody, but that causes its own new problems. Now more people come into this game killing each other. And two, you got to reload. How many times have you seen a knife run out of ammo?
That is true.
That's a valid point.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can take the biggest gun that actually exists with the most ammo humanly possible. It will run out of ammo. The knife will keep going and can kill more people. Just saying.
I think like what we were talking about earlier, Doku, with the with lasers. I wouldn't be. I mean, I know this sounds Star Wars-esque, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a morph towards weapons like that.
Yeah.
Like, can you? Yeah, I mean, I could just see it. It's cheaper. I mean, think about ammo. Oh my gosh. So my grandpa had this elephant gun, right? And my mom, we took it because we're cleaning it up and we're gonna play with it. But the rounds, I don't know anything about ammo or anything. I know that the little stamp on the bottom of the bullet tells you how much it is, but this thing's huge. It says 450 on the bottom of it. But like this thing takes up my whole palm, but it's freaking $20 for one bullet.
Yeah, that's $20 for someone seriously getting themselves wrecked. Let's be honest.
No, we're going to take it out to the desert.
apart from that, the way you use that is you shoot someone, you then go over and loot them. That way, they're paying for their own bullets, and you're delivering it at high speed to them. You like that idea, don't you, Doku? Come on.
Yeah, yes, I do.
Actually, I don't know if you knew about this, but apparently, if China actually has you executed, they actually charge your family for the price of the bullets they used to kill you.
Are you kidding me?
I wish I was.
Oh, China, 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 China.
You know, that
Shame.
doesn't surprise me.
I just like the more recent thing. I just don't understand how professional sports players placate to them, how Disney placates to them, how we're still having the Olympics in China. I mean, did they not look at the story with the tennis player?
Oh yeah,
Did
no,
you guys see
China. The reason is China owns a crap ton of debt and they're a huge market, so morality is not a concern for these people. I know a lot of people think like, oh, you can't stand LeBron James because Trump or blah blah blah, political reasons. It's like, no, I can't stand LeBron James because he's a freaking ass. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I remember
and
I hated him.
He's a hack and a sellout. Like he placates to China. He says some of the dumbest crap. He's fake. Like I guarantee you, that Malcolm X book he's reading doesn't have any creases on the spine of that book. He's probably only read the first fucking like 2 pages.
Yeah. It's a photo shoot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, how do you say his name? Kaepernick?
Oh, we'll call him Kaepernick.
Kaepernick. Yeah.
Yeah. Who had like the most privileged upbringing. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the struggles. What struggles have you been through, dude? You're like, what, the second worst quarterback in the league and you're still getting paid millions of bucks?
Yep.
Yeah, well, is what it is, unfortunately.
Oh, I don't know.
But-
Did you guys watch Don't Look Up?
I don't even know
no.
what Don't Look Up is.
It's on Netflix, I think. It's I mean, in all fairness, I think it's mainly about global warming, but it's talking about how both sides will manipulate any situation to their benefit. Don't let a good crisis go to waste. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting if you get a chance to look at that.
In all fairness, it's not really a shock on when it comes to this sort of thing. Whichever party you are, and I'm not going to try and say only the left or only the right do it. No matter who you are, you're going to try and use any given situation that's going to benefit you. So using the way the weather's going and global warming, etc. In all fairness, I've got issues with the words global warming. Have you seen the sort of snowstorms that have been going on? That's global warming. Oh no, that's right. Let's rename it to climate change. They are just renaming things nowadays as their mood hits them. Quite simply, if you actually follow what they've been actually saying about global warming, and yes, I did put in the air quotes there, we should have died about 30 to 40 times already. I mean, at one point, humanity is not going to even last the year 2000 because of global warming.
I think I'm kind of moderate in that respect because, I mean, I don't know what's a natural trend of the earth because we go through heating and cooling phases, but I also understand that, yes, we're putting more carbon into the air and we're having an impact. So to tie this back to Meta, I really appreciate the fact that this company is doing what they can to be more eco-friendly, to find ways to get power without being caustic to the.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose her?
I think she's gone dead again. Oh well.
The headset might have died.
Yep, that's possible. Apart from that, if you want to actually have heating and not worry about damaging the atmosphere, you burn Democrats. It's well known. Winter is God's way of saying burn more Democrats. Okay.
Goodness. But no, I guess my stance on things is I'm more for energy efficiency as opposed to trying to lower output or lower emissions. It's like, I just want to make things more efficient. So if you can make more efficient batteries, or if you can move to nuclear tech, or if you can do viable geothermal, or if you can create carbon capture technologies that don't reduce the efficiency of power plants, then by all means, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for cold fusion.
The day that happens, then I think we'll move to a type 2 society.
Yeah. But in all fairness, let's say once they've got cold fusion sorted, that's when I become interested. Just saying.
I mean, we got cold fusion. That's the day that we look at actual real spaceships. Yeah, ones that don't just go on short-term missions, but that stay active indefinitely.
Yeah.
Would you want that? Would you want to live in that environment?
It really depends on the spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People talk about colonizing Mars, and I'm like, ugh, why would you want that?
I mean, once Mars is green and blue, then sure, I'll jump on a spaceship and take a 1-year trip over to Mars and see what it's like over there. But not until it has a stable atmosphere.
I've mentioned to you, Doku, how it's. I mean, you put it in Twitter last night about aliens and humanity. They are not going to let us travel out of this system. Okay, we are talking a serious case of exterminatus, and you know it. Would you really? I mean, don't answer this as a human. Put yourself to one side and answer this looking at the shit humanity has done. Would you really want humanity being allowed to wander around the galaxy doing what we do?
I mean, I'll put it this way: if I was an Eldari,
Mhm.
yeah, I'd nip that in the bud real quick.
Yeah, there is no two in it. It's just humanity needs to clear up its act and big time if we actually want to step up into the outer spatial stage. Basically join that community, assuming there even is a community. All right, just want that part stated. And yes, I've noticed we do seem to be heading towards the old conspiracy thing here. You notice that?
I don't know. I think I have a different view on extraterrestrial life.
Okay, go on then.
Oh, so I don't know. I think I had mentioned this to Doku, just the idea of energy, right? So I think humans have energy, and when we die, where does that energy go? Like, could the, I don't know, things that we're seeing out in the abyss, could it be forms of energy that could have been human prior? I don't know. I look at life forms as energy. I know that sounds really wonky.
No, actually, that's not unreasonable. But I counter with this: and what if they decide to farm us?
To farm us like we're salmon?
Yeah. At the end of the day, to these beings, we literally could be cows. Does that not scare you?
I don't know. Like I would think if they're that advanced, would they even need to eat meat?
Well, I think what Jensen is saying that not necessarily farm us for the physical flesh, but the energy that we have. Like,
like, did you guys see the Crystal show with the Skeksis? What are they called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
What
is Dark Crystal?
Dark Crystal. Yeah.
Did you see the new one?
I have not seen the new one yet.
Oh my gosh, you have to. So, like, basically, they're harvesting these gelflings for their energy.
Yep.
That would terrify me.
I know there's another sci-fi series. I don't know if they ever made a show out of it, but I do know it's definitely a book. And it was there's some sort of like, I don't know if it was alien or like eldritch or extra dimensional, but it fed on it was basically like soul energy. There's like a name for it, but it would like attach to you like a parasite, but you wouldn't know it was there, and then people would just like randomly drop dead because it would like literally consume their soul over the course of like a set period of time. And the more souls it consumed, the stronger it got, the faster it could consume them.
I know people like that.
Unfortunately, so do I.
No, I'm not kidding you. So my background is mental health, right? You can find people and sit with them, and people can lift you up with their energy. And then there are people who are almost like vampires, right? They suck you dry. I'm not kidding.
I just want to make it noted that the Alex Jones was right jar is overflowing at this point in time. Just want to put that out there.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. No, I feel like maybe it's the spiritual realm and the alien realm and the human realm. Maybe they're not all so different.
Well, I know me and Jensen have had this conversation before, talking about the idea of extra dimensional beings as opposed to extraterrestrial, where they're not actually from this particular plane of existence. They're actually fourth or fifth dimensional beings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos you can find on YouTube talking about it. Some of it's really out there, but some of it actually kind of does make sense, though, as weird as and bizarre as it is.
Have you ever, like, when people go and they go to like haunted places and they record stuff, have you ever heard that audio?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
That weirds me out.
I quite enjoy the old ghost stuff. I've got to say.
I've actually done some of that before, actually.
Have you?
Yep.
Did you feel it like when you were there and like maybe you didn't know you were recording anything, but you had like a feeling?
Well, I've seen things that I can't explain. Like, I'm not going as far as to say like they're ghosts or extraterrestrial or anything like that, but it's something that, you know how when you see something you can just tell like it's not right. Like it gives you like a sort of irrational primal fear, like you act without thinking. Like it was like that. Like even my memory of it is kind of a haze. But there is like a testimony or something that a guy recorded like right after we saw a thing. Like the only way I can really describe it from memory is imagine a snow globe. Like, you know, like those like not the ones that have like the flakes in it, but the ones that look kind of like more like milky, like it swirls around. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine that with like a really dim glow, but just sort of hanging in the middle of the air.
Oh, like an orb.
Yeah, but like a very distinct, like we're not talking like a little dust particulate or something, like a distinct, maybe like the size of a baseball or a tennis ball, like a pretty decent size glowing cloud orb thing.
They smell good.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's all I know is me and 3 other people all saw the exact same thing at the exact same time, and the reaction was just fuck nope. We just ran. Like
yeah. My reaction would be I would like crap my pants right there. Nope.
Well, it was 2 women. They were both sisters. Then their nephew, and then me, and they both got up and ran out of the room. And me and the nephew, we were just like, what the hell? And then when we turned around to look in the direction they were looking at, we both got up and ran. Like there was no what the hell is that? There was no pause or anything. It's just you saw it, and then it was just immediate primal fear. Like
it would be so good to actually be able to fight that down and actually communicate with one of these. Hell, I'll take getting blatted by it. I'm okay with this, just for that option to be able to go, hi.
Jensen, are you going to be playing with the Ouija board?
I wouldn't. I do not touch that wretched thing. I'm allowed to swear. I have fucked up that too many people's houses with those, so I will have nothing to do with them anymore. Notice anymore. Done there.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah.
No, I'm a wimp. I can't do that stuff.
Okay. Fair.
I have to burn sage or something. I'm gonna have to burn sage now. I'm like, ugh.
Put salt in the corner of the room.
Oh my gosh.
Raise the dead. No, I mean, what?
I need to find me a Catholic priest.
Are you going for sacrifices, or is there something you want to tell me? just saying, you know.
Oh, no sacrifices for me.
Okay, well, you know, personal choice. I'm not judging anybody on what they want to do. To be fair, sacrificing a Catholic priest is probably the better option, given some of the other things that Catholic priests are known for.
Oh
I'm
my
just saying.
goodness. You're
What?
so you're naughty.
Mm,
Jensen's naughty.
Oh, this is
but
also
how
a tame
could you
day.
say that? Me good zom. Me never do nothing bad.
No.
Yes.
He taught me a word
Yes.
like wanker. Now I know what wanker means. Did you
Yeah.
know what wanker means? Oh, he knew what wanker meant.
Oh yeah. I have absolutely no problem with me saying that I am a total wanker. I am
Well, you know.
fine with that.
Does it rub off on people?
Have you met Doku?
You're rubbing off on Doku?
It
Oh
might.
yeah, whenever possible.
Oh,
Oh,
You answer that one, Doku.
don't
It
tell
was just-
Addie or gaming and yelling.
Yeah, but
Oh
they'd
my
enjoy it.
Fair point. Fair point.
Okay.
As long-
next.
As long as
Sorry,
you clean
Doku.
up. As long as you clean
After
up.
I'm a tissue. Only a small tissue, that's all. That's all he's
Not a
allowed.
sock, right? Isn't that like the
He's
thing?
not
Like,
allowed socks. What do you think he is, a house elf? No, he's not allowed socks.
he's
Sorry,
been free.
dude.
Oh my gosh.
dude. I had to.
No,
You guys are too funny.
it's fair enough.
My family's waiting for me. We're going to the potato museum.
There's a potato
I'm
museum.
sorry, what?
The potato. Well, it's between the potato museum or the Museum of Clean. Yes, it's the Museum of Clean. I don't know what these are going to be, but we're going to go to one of these. So I think I have to depart. But you guys have made me so happy. You're so funny.
No, thanks for joining
problem,
us. You're always welcome on the show.
Yep.
Well,
Being very serious, if you do actually want to come on again at any time, speak to Doku. He is the other host. I do not have an issue having you on here. With the fact that you actually listen to half of the drivel we talk about and chuckle, that's always a good sign.
oh, you guys are very educational. I
In
think
other
we're-
words, she's realised exactly how bad we are. Gotcha.
No, in other words, my 12-year-old just walked in the room. He's like, Mom, the potato museum. With that, we'll bid you adieu. And I'm
All
going
right,
to look at the potatoes.
Enjoy the potato museum.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. see
Bye
ya.
bye, Hal. Bye bye.
Bye.
And Jim, yes, I believe the other one was the Clean Museum or the Museum of Clean.
Yes. I
never-
don't know either.
I don't know. I did not know either of those existed, although I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
You know that Amsterdam has a penis museum, don't you?
I have heard of this.
Okay, cool. Just thought I'd mention it. There is also a sex museum there.
I knew about that one.
Oh, I'm shocked. No, really? Wow, how about that?
I think there's also a titty museum somewhere.
There's a vagina museum in London.
And now I'm wondering, what do they not have a museum for? Because I know Japan has a ramen museum.
Let's just leave Japan and museums out, because at some point it's going to get to a tentacle museum. You know it is. I know it is. It just is what it is.
You know,
Okay?
I'm curious.
Oh God, don't. Now can have a look and see if there is a tentacle museum.
Let's see.
Yes. Well, world clean. Yeah, it's like what? Well, if you think about it, I actually have no problem with the idea of world clean. Getting rid of all the disease on this planet and cleansing the entire thing. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Terminatus?
Pretty much. Or, of course, a nice virus or a disease. It's not like there's anything like that running. Oh, yeah, let's not mention that, eh? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's no dedicated museum, but there are exhibits to tentacles specifically for marine biology.
Okay.
Not as bad as I was expecting.
Okay. I'm checking out something really terrible. There is a. Oh wow! In the Atlantis Obscura, there is actually a hentai section. Oh my god, there is actually a hentai monster museum, but that involves Pornhub. So let's just leave that there.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you wish to talk about, sir?
Actually, did you hear about the guy who got Biden to say "Let's go, Brandon"?
Yes. Oh, did you hear the shit show he's in?
Yeah. So that's the one other topic I wanted to briefly touch on, because holy crap, the hypocrisy from people who spent 4 years yelling "fuck Donald Trump" and
Yeah.
doing effigies or saying they want to boom boom the White House, all that type of shit, are now the same
Yeah.
people freaking out because "Let's go, Brandon's" a right-wing slur. It's like, you guys have been saying way worse shit for the past 4 fucking years, and now you want a pearl clutch. Like, get the fuck out of here. Sit the hell back down.
Yeah, I want you to think about this, okay? Let's go, Brandon is a slur. That means that if you actually have a child of that name, of which it's a fairly common name in America, I believe. Hell, it's not that rare over here, so I'm reckoning it's pretty common over there. You can't actually cheer your child on when it comes to their sports day. Do you realize that?
Actually, yeah, the thought had crossed my mind. It's sort of like how I feel bad for anybody who actually has the name Karen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the second you stand up to cheer your kid, everyone's just going to look at you. And then it's like, oh, and you sit back down. You can't cheer on your own child because it's now racist. And by the way, at what point does Brandon come across as racist?
At this point in time, remember, we've had jokes about this. They will find a way to make everything about race.
Yeah, I know. It's disappointing. It really is. Okay. But yeah. Unfortunately, there is nothing that can actually be done for that poor sod. He is now going to be considered the bad guy by the left because he humiliated your president on public TV. That was glorious. And personally, I would love to do something like that to Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister. But something, I don't think there's actually anything that could be said about him that, apart from like his fascination with parties, it's not like he went to 1 or 2 Christmas parties seen as. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't know if you know this. Did you know that over here, New Year's Eve parties are actually now legal again? It's not like you could exactly say anything now, is it?
Wasn't even aware they were illegal in the first place.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be in groups of more than 6.
Oh yeah, I did hear there was about 1 week in the news cycle where it was like every day I was seeing articles about family gatherings getting raided by the British police.
Yeah. I mean, saying that, I'm assuming you heard about in New York how the New York PD went up to a kid and demanded to see his vaccination papers in Applebee's.
I do remember hearing about that. I didn't read the article or anything, but I did see it in passing. And
Yeah.
all I can say to that is, yeah, I'm not surprised. Remember when we kept saying, like, we were pointing to Australia and the EU, and people were like, that's not going to happen here. They're never going to
Yeah.
do vaccine passports. They're not going to ask for your papers. It was like, just wait. Just freaking
Mhm.
wait. It'll
Yeah.
happen.
It's ridiculous. I have said before, okay, if it happens in England, stroke Europe, or it happens in America, the other side needs to keep an eye on it because it will be coming to them. Okay. The joke is America sneezes, Britain reaches for a tissue. Okay. And it goes both ways for all of those that are like, oh, America's this wonderful, America's this. No, we're all in this situation. It doesn't matter which country you're in. It's a bloody bad thing to be in. It really is.
Well, again, the more and more that you're willing to comply with whatever type of restrictions they're going to put on you, they'll just keep pushing it to see how far they can actually get, because there's no government that isn't willing to extend its own power.
Yep. No, that's true. Compliance. You know that is all that they're actually going for, don't you? Terrific. It really is.
Yeah,
I hate it. I hate it. I'm just saying. I know you make the joke about, okay, stop the world, I'd like to get off, but I'm really rapidly heading towards I'm done. Okay, at one point I just wanted to watch the world burn because it was funny, but it's not funny anymore. Okay, it really isn't. There is nothing amusing to watch. You start saying, oh, how bad can it get? Oh, it's never going to get this bad. And then, like, a week, a month, a year later, yes, it is going to get that bad. Then it's going to get worse. So, however bad you think it could get, assume it's going to get worse, and then assume it's going to get even worse than that. Okay, being serious.
That's why I'm at the point where I'm just, my response to everything has just been no. Wait, you can say what you want, you can try to push whatever agenda it is you want, and I'm just no. I'm done. Like, no, I'm not gonna go along. I'm not gonna go with the flow. I'm not gonna follow the herd. I'm not gonna do as I'm told. I'm going to do what the hell I want. And if it lands me in a freaking camp like freaking there is already having a problem in Australia, then so be it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, no, technically my line has been crossed already. They're behind me though. I have not moved, and I am not moving.
Fair, I suppose. Yep. Overall, people, I would say the best thing to do is get off this goddamn planet. It's really bad, and just let the aliens blow it up because we are that badly in a desperate need for a good firestorm, just to as a reset button. I'm sorry to say, but it will probably help. In all fairness, I have said this before, so I will say it one last time. I feel it's because the Earth actually needs to let off a whole bunch of steam, and that's what the wars that have been occurring have been. But we need a good world war just to let off some of the steam of the world. The problem is, I actually don't know that it will do any good anymore. We've actually got to the point that I don't know what's going to help.
You know, I keep saying 1984 is no longer fiction, and the only thing we're missing is the forever war in the east or in the Middle Eastern territories. Oh wait, I forgot.
Yeah.
It's bad when you think about it. No, it really is. You look at 1984 and you're like, huh. You know, there's a lot of parallels here. They're just
You
they're
know,
branded
if
in
you
such a
actually
way you
drew
don't think about
boxes,
it.
you could literally tick boxes in there for things that have happened.
Oh
You
yeah,
know
no,
that, right?
I've actually I just watched the movie again since I hadn't seen it in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
But watching the movie, it's like, holy shit, this is the only thing we're missing is the dystopia aesthetic, but we're closely getting to that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said to you, they have absolutely ruined it, seeing as they want to do the 1984 based on the woman. Okay. Just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's not the main character, but of course she now has to be because my representation.
You know, if they were going to do it just to add another perspective, just to like kind of flush out the world, I wouldn't be that against it. But you know, they're doing it because they want to push a political agenda, which means it's going to be crap.
Yeah. You'd be hard pressed to actually find anything that's not crap coming out of Hollywood nowadays. Let's get blunt. Okay. There might be a few that's tolerable, but that's just it. If you went back 20 years of even some of the really halfway decent films, modern, people would still be looking at them going, oh my God, what are you watching? And yes, Jim, she was, but they still want to actually put it as her as the main character.
Yeah, I can only think of 3 movies. Wait, did Godzilla vs. Kong come out this year or was it last year?
Last year.
So I can only think of 2 movies I've seen the entire year that have been good that have not been political, and that would be Dune and Spider-Man No Way Home.
June, you're calling that non-political? Really?
Compared to what the politics of nowadays is, considering what makes something political, it's close enough to the politics of the original work that I don't consider it to be let's say, have the progressive agenda.
No, no, I will accept that, but I really have a problem with it's not political, but then again, the entire series, right from the very beginning all the way through, it has strong political overtones, I've got to say.
Well, I mean, the whole premise of the book is basically a feud between houses, medieval fiefdom style. So the whole premise of the book is political. When I say political in this sense, I mean it's not trying to push the progressive agenda.
Fair, fair. What's really funny is when it comes to June, people actually think that the book June is actually like the premiere of that set. No, at the end of the day, it means practically nothing to the rest of the story, even though, and I'm not going to say who, but the main character of the entire June universe is in June for a very short period of time. Don't say names if you don't say names if you know who it is. That will be a spoiler.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to say names, but I'd say the premier book out of the series, I would argue, is Children of Dune.
Again, it's a beginning, and that's all it is a beginning. Okay.
Yeah,
you could actually get rid of the first 2 books completely. They're pretty much unimportant. Start at Children of Dune, and that would get you the basics of understanding what's going to happen in the Dune universe. But that's it.
Yeah, no, Dune is a very complicated story, and the first book, Dune, really only serves the purpose of essentially setting the stage.
Yeah. But let's say you get introduced to the most important character in it, even though 99% of people won't know who that is. That's why I'm not going to say who it is, because it's much more fun that people actually read the books, to be honest, because they're actually damn good. Even though people sit there and say, I don't like it because it's not been written by the original people. No, that is fair. It's not actually written by Frank Herbert. It was written by his son and a friend of theirs. That's, is what it is. The guy died. What do you want? Okay, I'm sorry.
It was written by the 2 people who would have a intimate working knowledge of the universe and were close to Frank Herbert. So if anyone's going to finish off the story, it was done by the 2 people who would be best suited for that job.
Yeah. And like I say, I actually really enjoy it. Most people only think of the 5 books as Dune. No, there is 3 entire series that occur before that. A 3, 3, and a 3. Then you get to Dune. Then you get to the final books. Then you get to the final book itself. And it all makes sense.
And no, it's very long and intricate.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, just the entire story about thinking machines is in and of itself worthy of a movie trilogy.
Oh, they wrote the books. They need to do the 3 of the Machine Crusade because that would be awesome.
Honestly, I enjoy the Machine Crusade more than I do the actual main Dune series.
Yeah, same. Without going into any detail, have you read the final book of Dune?
I have to order it on Amazon. It's the only one I have yet to read.
Okay, in that case, I'm not going to say anything. All right, just yeah, I'm not going to say anything. Okay.
It's
But-
literally, I literally ordered it because I got a bunch of Amazon gift cards for Christmas, so it's actually
Nice.
literally sitting in my cart right now.
Okay, nice. You'll understand why I'm being as careful with what I say once you read it, as it's like, oh, that's what you was doing, you devious bastards.
I mean,
think is a good
I have
description.
heard some spoiler-ish stuff, but not an. It wouldn't be a spoiler if I hadn't read the 5 books previously or prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was enough that it's like, okay, I see where the dots are going.
Okay. Well, without going into any detail, because again, no names. Do you know who the Kwisatz Haderach is?
Oh yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Okay. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure that we was on the same book.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I can't wait till you read that final book because at that point I can talk to you again.
Now the thing is, I kind of know the ending. It's just I haven't read the book, so I want to kind of actually read it in detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Jacob, Warhammer 40k ripped the living hell out of Dune and stole a large number of its ideas. It's not a surprise by any stretch of the imagination. In all fairness, most sci-fi settings actually nicked something from Dune in some way, shape, or form. It is what it is. There is no IP anymore. It just keeps on going. And good. I'm glad you understand, mate.
I mean, honestly, between Dune and Starship Troopers, you pretty much have 99% of the sci-fi genre covered.
Yeah. Horrific to say, but yeah. Oh well. Anyway, do you have anything else you want to say? Otherwise, I'm going to bring it to a close.
No, I don't have any other topics for us this afternoon.
Okay. Well, I will finish off with one last economic statement. Buy Goidcoin. It may be the only thing that can save you. Goidcoin. Buy it. Sell it. Use it and abuse it. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for coming.